Playoff final weekend is here. It's the highlight weekend of the entire season. 4 teams are heading to Nottingham with the chance of lifting the playoff trophy. Fans from all 10 teams will be descending on Nottingham as well, so we hope you have a fantastic time. But what we wanted to do was have a look at what the 4 of us think the weekend has in store when it comes to the games. So let's see what the rest of the guys think first.
It's playoff final weekend, and here are my predictions for the upcoming games this weekend. The first game is against the Belfast Giants versus the Cardiff Devils. My prediction is the Belfast Giants will take this game. It will be 3-1 possible scoreline. The final goal being an empty net goal, as Cardiff will put their goalie probably in the last 2 minutes or so of play, trying to tie up, but unfortunately the Belfast Giants will score that last goal, decisive goal, to make it 3-1. The second game of the day on Saturday will see the Nottingham Panthers take on the Sheffield Steelers. Nottingham having a home ice advantage, I think, really plays a big part in the playoff final weekend. They'll have a big crowd backing, not to say that Sheffield won't, but Nottingham home fans will definitely be heard this weekend. Nottingham, I think, will take this game. I think the scoreline will be about 2-1 initially, and I think the Nottingham Panthers will move through to the final game of the weekend. Sunday then we have game 3. Who really cares? Really, is the only real point is trying to stop yourself from barfing on the ice. I don't have any prediction at all for the third place game. I don't really care. I'm sorry, Elite League, I really don't. The fourth game is the final game, and it's the most important game of the weekend. We'll see the Belfast Giants take on the Nottingham Panthers. Never in my history of watching the Belfast Giants play in the playoff finals, it's never an easy game. It's never a simple game, especially if you're a fan in the arena. This game is going to be no exception. I think it's going to go into an overtime, and I think the Belfast Giants will get the game-winning goal in overtime, clinching that playoff spot. Now, people will say I'm biased because I am a Belfast Giants fan, but in this case, I do genuinely believe the Belfast Giants have what they need to do. They have what it takes to do what they need to do, and I think the Belfast Giants will take the win this coming weekend.
Hey everybody, predictions for this weekend. Can't go past the Giants. If I have to take the Giants out of the list, it would be Cardiff. But using this weather, use the most of it. Seeing the Odyssey in the background, can't wait to watch the weekend. Let's go Giants.
It's playoff weekend, which can only mean one thing: playoff predictions. Now, we say this every year. There's absolutely no way to predict what's going to happen in playoffs. Playoffs are it's a different style of hockey, and I think this year is just going to push that even further. This year's season has just been absolutely insane. We've got a record number of attendance, and a season that was defined in the last 3 minutes. That was only decided in the last 3 minutes. I think we're going to see that come across in the playoffs and the style of play as well. When it comes to predictions, of course, we've got the Giants at our hearts. I do see the Giants taking it from the Cardiff Devils in the first round there. I don't think the Cardiff Devils are going to give up an easy fight at all. They always play strong in the playoffs, but I have to think the Giants are going to take that one. Then the next one's going to be the big serious one. Of course, the Steelers against Nottingham. I think the Steelers, after last year, are not going to give up an easy fight here, and I think the Steelers will take that one as well. But to everyone, good luck and have a great time.
So let's have a look at my predictions then. Let's have a look first at the Belfast Giants against the Cardiff Devils in the first of the semi-finals that will be happening on Saturday. Through the quarter-finals, Belfast and Cardiff both managed to get through with 8-3 aggregate victories over their respective opponents, Dundee and Coventry. In the last 5 meetings between these two teams, we have seen Belfast take a 4-1 advantage across those 2 games, and that does include 2 shutouts for Belfast as well, in what proved to be fairly pivotal games for the league standings. What do I think is going to happen with this game? Well, I think it'll be incredibly interesting. I think all the games across the weekend are going to be incredibly tight. What I think will end up happening is this game will be very, very tight going into the third. I think the Giants will probably take something like a 2-1 lead going into the third. The Cardiff Devils will then come out, pull the netminder, and I think the Belfast Giants will score on that empty net, and we'll end up with a 3-1 victory to the Belfast Giants, and they will punch their ticket to the playoff final. In the second of the semi-finals, we see the Sheffield Steelers against the Nottingham Panthers. Through the quarter-final, Sheffield had a hard time with Glasgow. They had to take that all the way to overtime in the second game to secure a 5-4 overtime victory against the Clan. The Nottingham Panthers had a slightly easier time, all that being said, with a loss in the first leg to Guildford, but they came out 8-5 aggregate victors against the Guildford Flames. In the last 5 between these two teams, we have seen Sheffield only take 2 of the wins. Nottingham actually have the advantage here, having 3 of those wins. The last 2 games have been very, very tight, with it being penalty shootout wins for each team in those 2 meetings. So, this game, incredibly tight. Net minding is incredible in both of those teams. I think this is going to be a very, very low scoring game. I think we could potentially see this game tied 1-1 all the way to the third. And I reckon you've probably got the Nottingham Panthers just to squeak through and get that goal late in the third to take it 2-1, and they'll take their place against the Belfast Giants in the grand final. The third place game between the 2 losers, let's just skip it because nobody cares, and if you're paying £16 for it, you've got more money than sense. The grand final though, with my prediction, would be the Belfast Giants against the Nottingham Panthers. Nottingham Panthers will take a home advantage. Obviously, the competition is being hosted in Nottingham once again, and they're going to have a big crowd in that house, you have to believe, if they make it to the grand final. But I believe the Belfast Giants have enough to get through them. I think they will take the win. I think once again, net minding is going to be absolutely key, but I think Belfast have enough firepower, and those guys will be up for this. This is going to be the Grand Slam game. 60 minutes, or potentially slightly more, for a championship, but I think it will end in regulation. I think it will end 2-1 to the Belfast Giants, and they will lift that third trophy, and we'll get all those Grand Slam photos from the ice in Nottingham once again. If you're going to Nottingham, or you're watching from home, or you're watching somewhere else if you're on holiday, we hope you have a fantastic time. Enjoy your playoffs.